Hello, my name is Joon, and I've been living in Poland for about 5 years. And as an American, there are some unique things that I really admire about Poland. Now, some of these things I noticed right away, and some took me some time to notice. These are the 10 things that I find really interesting as an American who lives in Poland. And number 7 is something that I really love here.
Toasty!
Also number 2, men spend a lot of time here.
And so, with that said, let's get into it.
Who turns on the heat?
So I didn't know you are not able to turn your heat on or off around the winter when it's cold. I believe that's controlled by the flat management. Now you can control how warm you want your flat to be. There are these little knobs on the radiator from like 1 or 2 to 4 or 5, and you can control how warm you want your flat to be. But to actually turn on your heat, you don't have control over that.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
So what I heard is that they turn it on automatically if the flat gets below 20 degrees Celsius or if the bathroom gets below 24 degrees Celsius. And also many times it's either the HOA or the flat management that controls the heating.
On a side note, I'm not saying it's like this everywhere in Poland.
Now, as I mentioned, if it does get below a certain degree, it will automatically turn on by itself to make sure that people aren't freezing. So if you're visiting Poland or if you're planning to move to Poland around late autumn or winter, just know that you're not able to turn on your heat. It is controlled by some sort of management system. If that is through some sort of AI, digital, or an actual person, it is not controlled by you.
The toilet hits different in Poland.
One of our favorite places in the world is the bathroom.
So according to a study, men spend around 7 hours a year hiding in bathrooms just to get some peace and quiet.
There is a reason why they call the toilet the throne. Here in Poland, the throne is a bit different than in America. You see, in America, our toilets sit on the floor.
What are you doing here?
While here in Poland and many other European countries, in fact, let me show you.
This is a German toilet. Look at how concealed it is. There's no water tank anywhere. And look down here. It's mounted to the wall so you can clean underneath.
But what you'll also notice is that the water in the toilet isn't as high like it is in America. See, in America, we have water that fills almost to the brim. And when you take a poo, sometimes it kind of gently splashes your little tush.
Hang on. Okay.
And though that might be refreshing, it's not like that here in Poland and also in other European countries. And it's funny because I did watch TikTok videos hearing Americans talk about why doesn't Europe have water that fills the toilet?
So toilet bowls in France, and I think most of Europe in general for that matter, the toilet bowls don't have a lot of water in them. In the US, our toilets have a lot of water. And what ends up happening in Europe, a little bit of a problem, is when you go, you're going directly onto the toilet bowl and you leave a mess. It's normal, it happens, and you'll find that there's toilet brushes readily available, even in public toilets everywhere. In the US, that's not so much the case. The water kind of like cushions the blow, I guess, and you're not going to leave any marks in a US toilet unless you really did some damage. And if you do, you better hope that there is no one going in after you, because chances are there is not going to be a toilet brush in there to clean up after yourself.
Many European toilets have less water in a bowl because they rely on a washdown flush system rather than siphonic systems common in the US. In a washdown toilet, water pushes waste down simply by gravity, which requires less baseline water conservation and helps with odor containment. Or in other words, they just want to save water. And here's a little side note. You have 2 buttons. The smaller button is for, well, for number 1. And the bigger button is for when you take a number 2. Here are the 2 buttons. For number 1, number 2. That is my favorite button of all time. It's the best. It's genuinely the best. So yes, even the toilets here in Poland and other European countries are different than in America.
Surely every Polish home has this.
Dare I say that you will see this in every Polish home? A squeegee. If you are traveling to Poland, there is one unwritten household rule that absolutely no one prepares you for. You step into your Polish Airbnb or a friend's apartment, you look in the shower and you find a squeegee. Now, if you're from the US or the UK, you're probably thinking, did the cleaning lady leave her tools behind? No, my friend. this is your weapon, because you're about to go to war with Poland's true final boss, hard water.
It's over 9,000!
Poland has incredibly mineral-rich tap water. If you let just one droplet dry naturally on that shower glass, it evaporates into a crusty white layer of limescale. Do it twice, and your luxury glass shower looks like a haunted greenhouse. So the unspoken Polish law dictates the exact second you turn off the water, while you are still wet and shivering, you must scrape every single drop down into the drain. If you are staying at a Polish grandma's house, and you don't do this, she will know, and she will judge your entire lineage. So remember the golden rule of Poland: shower, squeegee, survive.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Oh, also, you're gonna see this a lot as well too. Sometimes not a full shower cabin, but sometimes you're gonna get like parts of a shower cabin and the rest is empty. Why, you may ask? I don't know. But they say that the water is supposed to go down where it stays within that partial cabin space, but it doesn't. There's always seems to be water everywhere. So you may also run into that as well too if you visit or move to Poland.
Design around a community.
And so if you move to Poland and you move into one of these amazing flats, you're going to notice that below a lot of flats, you're going to see shops. They could be little mom and pop grocery stores. They could be a salon. They could be a barber. It could be a bank.
A few moments later.
It could be a Żabka. Now, if you don't know what a Żabka is, it's equivalent to a 7-Eleven. And God bless Żabka, because they come in handy sometimes on Sunday. And I'm going to get to that. So let me show you what I mean. If you don't know, 0 is where you exit. It's at ground level. You see what I mean? Just stores right underneath the flats. It makes your life just super easy. Just some convenience that's right at your doorstep. Now, I'm not saying everywhere in Poland is like this, but a lot of places are like this. And looks like that place is for rent. But I noticed like a lot of daycare or places where they watch kids. Now I know like in America, like in some cities, like in Chicago or even New York City, they have places like bodegas or little shops, mom and pop shops. But it seems that it's like that more here in Poland. I love how everything's so green. No, I try not to record people because I don't like to be recorded. Another place where you can drop off your happy kids. One of the famous stores, Żabka. But it's like a 7-Eleven back in the States. But like I said, there's so many different shops that are right below flats. And these are one of the many things I really love here about Poland. It's built around a community. Whereas in America...
So if you haven't been to America before, right? If you go to a parking lot and you want to go to, say, that place, or even just the store there, what they do, they get in their car. They get in their car and drive over.
He ain't lying.
As you know, America is very much a car-driven society. So in Poland, you're gonna see a lot of these type of drop boxes. It's for like postal and stuff like that, where you're not gonna have just some postal person dropping off at your flat in front of your door, where many times, like in the UK and the States, where people will steal. Here's another local shop. Much different from the liquor stores in the States. And then obviously you have these little mom and pop places where they sell produce. Typically they're local farmers, so pretty dope. Another store as well too. Sorry, I'm not Spielberg. And as you can see, Poland, just like many European countries, we walk here. We walk a lot. You get used to it. And you're about to see what I mean by how everything's so accessible. Everything's literally in walking distance for many people who live around this area. And if you're in the comments, can you let me know what this building's about? I'm gonna bet every dollar I have it's haunted. But as you can see, everything is just very accessible. You have a gym there, you have electronic stores, Sensei, Deals, Biedronka, and this way. Obviously you have your Lidls. So just local stores, and just like I mentioned, everything's just in walking distance, which just makes everything so freaking convenient. Local strawberry shops, shout outs to them, they're delicious. And also some really cool things about Poland, where I lived like in Krakow, and I'm sure in many other big cities. You have a lot of these walking paths with a lot of trees. Pretty freaking awesome.
Sunday Funday.
This was something that was interesting. I'm not sure many of you know in America, but a lot of places, and I don't think this is just unique about Poland, but a lot of places on Sundays are closed. I didn't understand that at first. I was like, why is everything closed on Sunday? But when you get to spend time with your family on Sundays and you have a home cooked meal and you know it's made out of love, yeah, you really understand this.
So good and tasty.
Now for some, I can understand how this can become an inconvenience. But at the same time, you do have 6 days where you can prioritize if you need to buy groceries or get certain things at the shop.
So I've been an American living in Poland for almost a month now, and there's been some differences that I've noticed about Poland compared to the US. So I figured I was going to list off like maybe the 3 things so far that I've noticed that are different here than back home. Number 1, like everything is closed on Sunday. It's a very, I guess, cultural and religious thing here. They have most of the places closed on Sunday, so that way people have time off and can go to church. But yeah, it can be super inconvenient because, you know, the U.S., like everything's open with the exception of like Chick-fil-A and some other places. But pretty much everything's open on Sunday because, you know, money makes the world go around.
I'm not saying everything is closed. If you go to the city center, restaurants are still open. There are still things, attractions that you can do, and you can still have a great time. It's not like the whole city's on lockdown.
Because Old Faithful is open.
But what I take out of Sunday, and what I really notice here in Poland, it is time you can spend with friends and family. It's very relaxed. There isn't this hustle and bustle. It's just time just to really and smell the roses. And that's something I believe America should start doing. It's just slow down sometimes and just take everything in and just appreciate the time that you have with people in your lives, because these will become memories, and these memories will become something that will stay with you for a lifetime.
Patriotism hits different in Poland.
So in the beginning, I mentioned there are some things that took me a while to really learn and understand. This is one of them. In America, we're very prideful. I mean, clearly. And we genuinely believe we're the
greatest country in the world.
I'm not saying every American,
but many of us. What I mean is, it took me some time to kind of wash away that American mentality, expecting certain things like, why couldn't it be like this? Because it's like this in America. I know. I'm also very disappointed about that. But after seeing how Polish people are with even their own politics, it's not so much in your face. You see, if you go to America, you're gonna see everywhere who people support. If it's Trump, if it's Kamala Harris, if it's Democrats, Republicans, whomever.
America, 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 yeah! Come out again to save the mother day, yeah, America, yeah!
People have American flags everywhere. We wear t-shirts with American flags, baseball hats, shorts, pants. In fact, our entire outfit can be American flag.
It's what Americans do.
I have never seen that here in Poland. Not once. I don't see Polish people driving around with Polish flags or having bumper stickers of who they affiliate with as far as their politics. And relax, Americans, I'm not saying this is bad. This is just our culture, and I'm just demonstrating and showing other people our culture. It's pretty freaking awesome. Now, Poland also has a very deep passion for their politics. But the thing is, it's not
in your face.
Poland has this very deep-rooted passion for their country. If you go to Warsaw on their Independence Day, you're gonna see it. You feel that energy. You feel the love and that pride because of the history. Poland doesn't show their pride by waving their flags in your face. There's a quote by Laos Tzus.
China?
Those who speak do not know, but those who know do not speak. And I think that statement, that proverb, represents many Polish people.
No trimming necessary.
This is something I really love about Poland. I've noticed that you don't cut your grass on a weekly basis, that you allow nature to grow. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I really love that. I was actually walking my dog and we passed a field right by our flat.
And it was overgrown.
And you see these little bumblebees. And this little fat bumblebee actually fell asleep and you saw his little tiny legs. It was amazing. I loved it. But there was this sense of nature. I don't know. There's just something that is romanticized about that within me. I love nature in general. There's this juxtaposition from the concrete world where you get to see grass grow and just see nature around. I don't know, it's almost cinematic. I really appreciate that and I love that visually. In America, we cut our grass typically weekly and it looks really nice. Everything is hedged and trimmed and it's just, yeah, it's nice. But I don't know, maybe this is just me, but I like being able to walk and I feel like I'm just walking in the meadows. I'm walking with nature and just admiring the certain ambiance that comes with that. And so yeah, that's something I really love about Poland.
Size doesn't matter.
So my fellow Americans, when you moved to Poland, what did you think about the size of the grocery stores? What I mean by that is, I'm sure many of you know Walmart or even Costco, and you know that they're huge. You can almost get lost in them. In fact, some of my friends when we were young, we used to play hide and go seek.
Hey, wanna play hide and clap?
It's not like that here in Poland. As I mentioned before, everything is built around a community. For example, my Lidl, I can literally walk there. It's literally right there. I can literally see it from my flat. What I like about that is if I need something that's fresh, I would just walk to Lidl and I can buy it that day. There's something I really like about that. But yes, the stores are much smaller than they are in Walmart. And sometimes you can have traffic jams. Sometimes it gets extremely packed. But if you go early in the morning, it's nice. You can hang around with the babcias and, you know, hey.
Thank you for being a friend.
But I guess don't expect huge chain stores. Now I do want to make a correction. There are actually pretty large European chain stores. For example, Auchan, Carrefour, and Kaufland. However, with that said, the most popular chains in Poland are Biedronka and Lidl. Don't expect Costco. Now, on a side note, would I love a Costco here? Yes. But do we need it here in Poland? No. But personally, I do prefer Lidl and Biedronka. So, shout outs to them.
They say chivalry is dead.
I watched an older fella come into a company and he would kiss women's hands. I only saw this in movies. I didn't even know this was a thing that people do this in real life.
But they do.
I was like, wow, that's definitely different because I've never seen that in America, ever. This young, dashing old man with all this charm, he comes up, he sweeps up this young woman, kisses her hand, and gives her chocolate. I was like, damn.
I'm writing this down. This is good stuff.
Holy shit, bro should start his own YouTube channel and teach these young men how to get this type of charm because bro was on point. All the young women were giggling, they were smiling, and he was just absorbing it all in. I was just like, bro, save some of these young ladies for the rest of us. Goodness, my wife is right there. Chill, bro.
Hey, how you doing?
But it's just interesting seeing these old gestures from an older generation, just seeing it firsthand because it's something I've never experienced. And I was just like, wow. And even myself, I was charmed by it. And guys, if your girlfriend or if your wife see him, you've been warned.
2 rooms, 2 bedrooms, what's the difference?
When you're looking for flats, you're going to see in the ads 2 rooms, 3 rooms, 4 rooms, 5 rooms, etc. I'm thinking to myself, I need a 2-bedroom place. And they're saying, so 3 rooms. I'm like, what does that mean? Like 3 rooms? Are we talking like, I need 2 bedrooms and a place where we can go and hang out. Does that mean 3 rooms? On a side note, I was talking to my wife about this because my dumb mind could not comprehend this. It still doesn't comprehend this. I know it's such an easy thing to understand, but my brain's like, why not just call it a 2-bedroom?
Are you being stupid or something.
But that's not how it works here in Poland.
I get it. It's still that Americanness in me. Damn it. Hi, I'm back. But yes, if you're looking for a flat and you read the ads, 2 rooms typically means 1 bedroom and a living area. 3 rooms means 2 bedrooms and a living area. 3 rooms means 2 bedrooms.
A few moments later.
But just be mindful if you're new to Poland. If you're looking for a flat, just ask them, just to be sure. How many bedrooms does it have? You don't want to waste your time to go there and realize this isn't the size that I need. I'm not saying I've never done that. Who's done that? Not me. Not me, of course not. So if you do like this type of content and I bring value, I do ask if you can please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also hit that hype button because, as I always say, I'm really trying to build a community and grow with all of you. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you stayed till the end, you are true legends. And so with that said, and without further ado, let's get into it.